Hi, and welcome to class today. My name is Ellen McKay, and for caregivers, sometimes that mid-back space can get really tight, especially if you're doing a lot of lifting, or if you're sitting a lot, whether that's in doctor's appointments, for work, hospitals. So the next two classes are going to be about kind of unraveling that space. I'm going to be practicing on my mat today, but if you prefer to be in a chair, I'll make sure that I give you options for both. So I'm going to go onto the mat and I'm going to use this blanket here to sit on just because it feels better for me. So feel free to sit on something to kind of elevate your hips a little bit, or a chair, or on the mat. Good. So when I talk about that mid-back space, it's kind of right below the shoulder blades to right above the low back. And there are several different ways to get into that space. So we're going to try first today doing some side body opening. So kind of that wrapping around that kind of comes to the side body space. And then next week, we'll move into maybe doing some more twisting work. But this side body work can be a really great way to kind of first introduce some more movement and hopefully some relaxation into this space. So let's just start here. Inhale, let those arms come all the way up or as far up as the shoulders feel good. Nice little stretch here, maybe a little reach side to side. Exhale, float them down. Good. Bring the fingertips to the mat and maybe walk them back a little bit if that feels okay, and just start to lift the chest a tad. Good. Doesn't have to be a big lift. We're not bringing the chin towards the ceiling. Maybe we take a little look up, kind of where the wall meets the ceiling. Good. Release that. Bring your hands back to the legs. Let's do it again. Inhale. Reach up those arms. Again, only go as far as the shoulders allow. And let's do a little reach side to side. So let's add some more here. Good. Imagine like you're trying to pull on a rope. Reach up and pull it down. Reach up and pull it down. Good. Doing that a few more times. Reach up, pull down, pull down. Yeah. Good. One more time each side. Up and down. Good. Again, reach those arms out, press out through the heels of the hands like you're trying to pull the fingertips back towards you, and then float those fingertips down. Let's do that again. Lift up through the chest. Maybe a gentle gaze up, again, kind of where the wall meets the ceiling, not too high up, keeping that neck nice and long. Good. Release that. We're going to round forward like you're hugging a big beach ball and kind of round back a little bit. Let me turn sideways here so you can see. So I'm kind of rounding back, tipping that pelvis back, hugging that big beach ball. Good. Clasp the hands together. If that feels okay for the fingers, we're going to press the palms forward. Notice those shoulders. Sometimes they want to kind of creep up towards the ears. Let them float down towards the hips. And then if it feels okay, start to press those palms up and overhead. Again, maybe arms don't come in line with the ears, and that's totally okay. Maybe you're here. Maybe those elbows are more bent. Whatever works for that upper body, okay? One more breath. Good. Float those hands down. Float, float, float. Maybe bring them back a little bit behind you. Lift up through the chest. Good. Feel like you could really squeeze those shoulder blades down towards each other, like you're almost trying to bring them into a V shape. Good. And let's do that one more time. Hug that big beach ball. So round back a little bit. Clasp the fingers together, press through the palms. Feel those shoulders soften down. Good. If it's okay, start to lift those hands. Listen to the shoulders. Do what works for your body today. Good. Wonderful. Float those hands down. Float, float, float. Fingertips to the mat or the sides of the chair. Lift up through the chest. Very good. Okay, let me turn back to face you. Also, if you're seated on a mat and in a chair, I guess, feel free to change the shape of your legs anytime. They don't have to be crossed like this. You can have one leg out, both legs out, really whatever feels best for hips and knees and ankles. So just always listen to the body and change up your shape whenever you need to. Okay, let's start to get into some side bending. I'm gonna grab some blocks here. You don't need them. I just kind of like them as a little halfway option. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use pillows or books, even like if you've got some dumbbells, anything that kind of lifts the ground up a little bit higher. So we're going to start with a gentle side bend, and then if you want, we can move into a deeper side bend. Start with that right hand down, left arm's going to reach up and over, and start to feel that stretch. We're not going to go and pause for a long time. We're just going to gently rock side to side. And again, if that shoulders are feeling a bit more creaky today and maybe overhead doesn't feel great, just sweep them out to the side. You can still get a really good stretch, especially on that side of the waist, reaching to the side. Take some of that stress off the shoulder. Good. So just keep going side to side. Switch it up if you want. Great. Nice. Let's do about one more each side. Good. Next time we come down to that right hand, left arm's going to reach up and over. You can keep the hand on the block, or you can bring the hand down to either the floor or the side of the chair. Good. And maybe play around a little bit. See if you can look underneath the arm, maybe turn the chest a little more towards the ceiling, and maybe even turn that shoulder down a little bit more towards the floor. Noticing how that changes the stretch along the side of the waist and that mid-back area. Good. And if one of those spaces feels really good, pause there. Take a couple breaths. Nice. Slowly come back up. Let's switch sides. Again, you can take that hand down to the block, or if you're in your chair, you can bring it on your leg. Or if you want, maybe hand comes down to the floor or the side of the chair. And find that reach. Again, maybe it's more like this. Totally okay. Use your breath. Good, and if you want to play around on this side, same kind of thing. Maybe turn a little more up towards the ceiling. Maybe turn that shoulder down a little more towards the floor. Good. Couple more breaths wherever you are. Nice. Good. Release that, float it all the way down, bring it back to center. Let's do a couple shoulder rolls. Very good job. Okay, so now we're going to move to either a kneeling position, or you're going to stay seated in your chair, and I'm going to show you an option. So actually, let me show you the chair option first, and then I'll show you the kneeling option. Let me grab my chair here. So if you're in your chair, you're going to take one leg out, kind of out a little bit to the corner, and then the other leg is as long as you can comfortably make it. Okay. Sometimes it helps to kind of scoot a little more to the edge of the chair, or even turn a little bit kind of towards the corner of the chair. Okay. All right. Let me show you how it looks down on the ground. Chair option is also great if the knees are a little sensitive for any reason. I've got a blanket on top of my mat, on top of carpet, so it's nice and cushy for me. I'm also going to use these blocks again, so have those nearby if you want. We're going to start with the left knee bent. So again, whether you're in the chair or on the mat, left knee is going to be bent, right leg is going to be as long as you can. Okay. All right, let's take left hand to either a block or the floor. Or if you're in your chair, you're going to bring your left hand or forearm to that left thigh. All right, right arm's going to stay where it is, nice and draped on the side. And we're going to take little sweeps forward and back. Good. So when we go forward, palm's going to face down, maybe even thumb faces down. So pinky finger faces up. Sweep back. Good. Then thumb points up, pinky finger down. Good. Let's do that a few more times. Up. So pinky finger up, overhead, thumb up when you go back. Good. One more time like that. Up and over, and then back. Good. This time we're going to sweep that arm up and overhead. I like to hold on to my head here so my neck isn't doing as much work, but if that doesn't feel good for your shoulder or arm, that's okay too. You can also take a look down if the neck needs a break. You can also bring this hand down to the mat. Good. I also notice when I hold my head, I get a bigger, more opening feeling along the side of my body, and that feels good for me. So if that feels good for you, go for it. But always find the shape that feels right. Nice. One more breath. Good. Use those strong core muscles. Find your way back to center. And now we're going to take that right hand down to the right leg and take that left arm up and overhead. Good. Again, shoulders not there today. Maybe this is where you are. Okay, great. Good. Let's take 3 full breaths. Big breath in. Feel that expansion. Exhale, soften anything you can. Nice. 2 more. Nice. Slowly release, bring it back to center. Let's take a moment of pause. So if you're on your knees, you can come down to a child's pose or forearm tabletop just to take a little rest. If you're seated in your chair, bring your legs back together and maybe bring your head down to your forearms or just kind of rest a bit in a forward fold. Okay, good. 2 more breaths, just kind of maybe noticing one side of the body compared to the other. Not any judgment, just awareness. Great, and let's try the other side. So now we're going to have that right knee down, left leg long. Same thing if you're in a chair, your right knee is going to be bent out to the side, left leg is going to be long. Good. I'm going to add that block in underneath my hand and take that left arm, sweep it forward. Again, maybe that pinky is up when I take my arm overhead, and when I sweep it back, maybe that thumb turns up. Good. We'll take a few more sweeps up and over, paying attention to those shoulders. And back. Good. Nice. Good. Last time, if you want, leave it overhead. If you want to try holding on to the head, you can. Maybe taking a look down if holding on to the head doesn't feel great. Again, you can take this hand that's on the block or some kind of support and bring it down to the floor. Good job. Few more breaths. Very good. Use those strong obliques. Slowly start to find your way back up. And let's take it over to the other side. So left hand's going to rest on the leg somewhere. Maybe it's thigh or hip. Maybe it's down towards that shin or calf. Right arm can either reach up and over, or maybe it takes that sweep across if that feels better. Okay? 5 breaths here. Nice. Slowly release. Bring everything back to center. Again, maybe you find a child's pose or that forearm tabletop. Maybe you rest the head on your hands. And take 5 breaths wherever you are. Good. When you're ready, we'll come back to a seated position. Maybe roll those shoulders up and back again. Good. Let's do one more little movement here for that mid-back space, just an easy cat-cow. So inhale, lift the chest, open up a little bit. Maybe let that gaze slide up the wall. Exhale, round the spine, chin might tuck towards the chest. Good, 2 more just like that. Open it up. Exhale, round. Good, open it up. And round. Good, eyes can close if you want. Find a place to rest. If you want to lie down, lean up against the back of your chair, wherever you are. Finding that even breath. Really letting the body relax here. Staying here as long as you like. Thank you for practicing with me today.